Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Thursday, December 4th, 2025, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe before you leave today's program. On today's awesome show, where's it at? There it is. Transparent player salaries. When do we get them in the NLL, and why has the topic come up now? Week 2 headlines, and finally, my entire NLL power rankings. And by the way, if you follow the social medias at Daily Dive LAX, which is found on the bottom ticker right now, you will find Joel Watson's top 5, which he released on Tuesday. We appreciate Joel for that. Before we get started, we want to let you know this show is presented by the event tickets tab at natalkradio.com. Head over there, click event tickets, and once you get there, search for your favorites or local National Lacrosse League team. It's run by Vivid Seats, so tickets are usually available on that. But again, please go to natalkradio.com first and then click the tickets tab and go from there. Before we get started, I do want to briefly mention this. Liam Gleason has passed away at 41 years old. Did a lot of coaching in Albany. A few NLL players have talked about him on their stories, sending their respects. I know that he's got a nice family, etc. And I, full disclosure, was not aware of who he was, but I know many people are affected by him. So I want to say shout out to his family. We're thinking about you, because when one person passes away, a whole community feels it usually, and this time it's the lacrosse community. So Liam Gleason, rest easy, and we hope that your family can find comfort in this difficult time. Now, let's get into the player contracts and why this comes up now. By the way, Anything Lax has already commented via quote tweet. As a fan, I would love to have all the contracts and salaries be public. It gives fans something more to talk about and will help grow the league. I'm glad you said that, sir, because I have some tweets pulled up on my screenshots here. Not on the screen, but you'll see. And basically saying why this came up in the first place, okay? I saw a Dawson Nielsen tweet, and he had quoted TSN's Dave Naylor. I'm not in Canada. Sorry, sir. I'm looking at the Sports Center work. According to Pablo Herrera Vergara, CFL and the Players Association open to discussing public salary disclosure. CFL, of course, the Canadian Football League, for those American brethren watching the show. Dave Naylor said this is welcome news. It gives fans something else to dig into. It would really help the CFL's image. So many people think the CFL players make about $25,000 a year. Guessing he means Canadian. Dawson Nielsen then broke it down for NLL terms. So this topic was really inspired by Dawson Nielsen. And it's 2 days ago he tweeted this, but I had to do some digging this morning for the topics and found this very interesting. But Dawson Nielsen of Isle Indoor, Loose Mash, and other things, when the CFL starts talking about public salary disclosure, you can't help but think back to May 2022 when the NLLPA stood with the CFL PA. And he showed a screenshot at Dawson J. Nielsen. You can find that. And honestly, it leads to a pretty simple question, he says. If the CFL is trending towards transparency, how far behind is the NLL? I'll leave that tweet there. because we've had a lot of new viewers this season, and I thought it was good to circle back to this topic now, because we are under a new CBA for the next 4, maybe 5 years. It was a long off season, but we're here now, and we're excited for this moment. But we still do not know what players are actually making. Now, granted, until you make boatloads of millions of dollars, there's always going to be under the table stuff. Just look at Vancouver's roster. That's not even me reporting. That's me just reading the tea leaves and just realizing, there's no way they really have that roster right now. Or maybe they're waiting until the salary cap actually gets super hard next year. I don't know. My point on this stuff is, though, is that there always will be some under the table stuff, like Dane Smith's bar or whatever, until we make millions of dollars. But it would be nice to know on the surface, what are the best or even the lowest salary player making? Like, what is the number? We think we have a general idea. I mentioned that Dane Smith had a $100,000 per year contract, but what does that really mean? And how close to the number was my report on that? Be something to look at. But why does it benefit the NLL? I've got 2 ways, and they're 2 very big ways. The first one is the same old, and I know many people who watch NLL podcasts will be kind of tired of this, so bear with me here. I have said, and others have said multiple times ad nauseum, that it creates discussion. And the NLL needs more discussion. The National Lacrosse League thinks that hiding things, well, some people thought that hiding things for years was the bright idea. Turns out it wasn't, especially as we move towards 2026, as social media becomes ever more vocal, visible, and popular, okay, and outspoken, all those good things. But let's get to a second point I think you'll want to hear as well. It actually helps with negotiations. Like, people are going to say, the biggest knock on this is, and it's a great point, according to Vance in LA on Twitter, that's VANCEINLA, says, I think disclosure would be a mistake. The salaries are minuscule compared to other major sports, which would reinforce a minor league narrative. Now, he's talking about the CFL. And I raise you the NLL, who's probably, I don't know, probably, but might be, I think they are in a worse situation financially than the CFL, because people in their mentions were saying 70,000 is the minimum. I don't know how true that is, but it sounds like it's more than the NLL gets or players get. So I don't think that's true, though. I don't think that would make. I don't think fans would ultimately care. And Dave Naylor, to that response to that, says there aren't enough characters, meaning like limits on Twitter, in the universe for me to disagree with this enough. Old thinking that stunts the CFL. We might get criticized has been the league's mantra for 30 years. Dude, great response. I feel like this guy could also be an NLL analyst. The way that is exactly what NLL people think. But again, I'm not worried about that. I believe it helps negotiations. When we know that, let's say, I don't think Zach Curry would be a victim of this, considering he's part of the PA. But let's say an unsung hero on your favorite team is not getting paid as much as a guy who is just empty stats in the end, okay? Let's say that you think your guy deserves better. Well, enough fans get behind that. It does influence things sometimes, because then the player and his agent can say, hey, well, everyone else agrees that I'm an invaluable asset. That could help. It could also help the team. So it's like a win-win here. Like, the teams could realize, oh, well, this player A on this team is not even making that much, and he outperforms you. It all works out. Again, the discussion alone, so many other topics on sports or like so many times on sports television are about money. Well, this guy's making a bunch of money. He's outperformed it or he's underperformed his contract. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal in other sports. And then you add the fact negotiations on both sides can be helped. I love this idea. And again, shout out Dawson Nielsen, shout out Dave Naylor, and shout out to Pablo Herrera Vergara for that thing where he's talked. I think he reported it maybe the first time. But yeah. Cody Jansen says, fully agree. Have to think rookies want public salaries. That's a good point. And there is truth to the veterans don't, which is why I kind of like didn't mention Zach Currier in that same breath, because veterans are, getting the cash right now. Unlike Chris Paul of the NBA, if Chris Paul is in the NLL, he might be getting a big time paycheck. It's like, well, come on now. You don't really perform that much. Story for another day. But again, if you're a rookie, like look at Mike Byrne, okay? How great he was in his first game. You don't think he's looking like, wait a dang, not saying Mike Byrne specifically, but a Mike Byrne adjacent player, like, wait a dang minute, I'm better than this. Again, it works so many different ways. And if the only knock on this is, well, fans are going to think we're not making that much. Great, we know this, and now it's confirmed. I love it. I think it helps so many different ways, and it doesn't help in so little ways. I think it's a great thing. Again, thank you to those people tweeting about that, making a Daily Dive segment today. That was awesome stuff. All right, when we come back, what are the headlines for week 2? I got a few of them. It's not a shot at Tim Dillon if you watched yesterday's show, but we'll be right back. Daily Dive, and stay tuned for my power rankings. You don't want to miss that. You're watching a Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Get your NLL tickets, even sometimes when they're sold out. Head over to natalkradio.com, click that event tickets tab, and search for your favorites or local National Lacrosse League team. By the way, I showed a graphic for a couple of days, I believe last week, where I was like, what time is it? So I'm still working on that. It was supposed to be released on Friday, and for some reason, the thing that I'm using for this is not really registering the second. You'll see what I mean when it fully gets released, but I was prepared for last Friday to announce something. It didn't work out, so I'm figuring out the website. The website was just giving me troubles in the past before, but again, I'll explain all of that when it officially comes out, but I do apologize. I know some of you, the hardcore fans of Daily Dive, know what I'm talking about. Anyways, week 2 headlines, baby. It's time for breaking news. Where's it at? It's not even there. I'm ashamed. That's not going to work. Oh, well, there was like a breaking news thing and else just not showing up. Anyways, let's do it. You ready? Here we go. Alrighty, so my first news is going to be this. How good will Saskatchewan look? How good? And I'm going to get to the Calgary part of this as well, but I feel like both these teams deserve their own little things here. We saw Buffalo, once again, being a dogfight with Georgia, and then shut the door in the second half. That was amazing. We then saw Vancouver, not who we thought they were to start the season, even though all of a sudden people were like, oh, well, we're giving it 6 weeks. Oh, okay, now people are saying that. Interesting. See, none of us really said it. I said it would be a slow start. Even though I did say 14-4, I thought those losses came rather early. But you had so many people that said, oh, they're going to be great out the gates. And, Kurt Malossy's firing up the boys. And all of a sudden, oh, it's going to take 6 weeks. Well, where were y'all? Anyways, but right there waiting, Saskatchewan Rush. They're like, huh, interesting. That was very Calgary of you over there, Vancouver. I think Saskatchewan's ready. I'm excited to see how they look at home. They play Saturday, and I think it'll be it's a chance for a flex your muscles kind of thing. Like, listen, you can say Colorado's good all you want to. They might be good, but Vancouver also might be not as good. That's also on the table. Ooh, you don't want to have that conversation yet. And Saskatchewan's over there like, they're just chilling right now. But if they lose, that could be another crazy story. But, again, the team they're playing. Another week 2 headlines here. Action News. Are the Roughnecks really going to be that bad? I'm curious. Like, we know that the cool bet win total, shout out Polar Bears, we know that it was at 6. Pretty low. And people like myself and others thought it should be even lower. Like, we're taking the under. I said 3-15. But how bad are they? If they're competitive, or dare I say, I don't think they will, but what if they beat Saskatchewan? Do we have to reconsider our narratives here? Or at least on Dilly Dive? I think so. If this game is within 1 or 2 goals, I think that's a big deal. I forgot who came on the show and said this, but Aiden Walsh, are we positive he's going to keep on doing well? Because remember, Vancouver's defense was so good. How is he? I think Joel Watson said it. So how good is he going to look? Is that offense going to have to score 15 goals? Again, there's speculation out there, but what is the reality? I'm very curious about that Saturday game. Now, this is a headline because I'm going to eat some crow here, or some wings, if you will. That's something fair. Like, we'll just say crow because wings are good. I said on my Monday show, maybe? Yeah, I said on Monday show with Captain, an overreaction and maybe a kind of an opinion I have now, is CJ Kirst better than Brandon O'Neill? Well, I had to walk that back. Your boy did some research on the NLLstats.com. Shout out Graham Perro. He may not care, but I shout him out anyways. See, Brandon O'Neill last year, like CJ Kirst scored 2 goals, right? Brandon O'Neill did that 8 times last year, including twice against Georgia. Like, you think I, of all people, would have realized that? Well, apparently not over here. I'm a scumbag. Including of those 8 games, a hat trick against Vancouver and a 4 spot in week 2 against Las Vegas. And I had the nerve to come on this show and say Brandon O'Neill had never looked that good. Wow. I should put some sour sauce on these wings because that's unfair. And so again, I got to call a spade. It's me. I'm the spade. I do think CJ Kirst definitely put the league on notice. I'm curious to know next week how Brandon O'Neill looks, though. Like, can he score 2 goals? At this point, I think he probably has to, considering those stats from last year and CJ Kirst. We'll have to see, because the offense should be anything Brandon O'Neill and George Terrace wants, that should be the offense. We'll see. But again, I jumped the gun. I'm sorry. Maybe because Philadelphia was so bad last year. I don't know. But 8 games with 2 goals or more, including a 3 and a 4, like that's on me. I'm sorry. But that's next week. I'm going to say it's still a headline, though. Another headline here. No one wants to talk about it. Just ask Twitter, ask the moral police department on Twitter, and they'll tell you. And I'm not saying it's worth it, but we have to ask the question: is anybody going to pick up Austin Stotts? When? Or maybe not, because the San Diego Seals tried to trade him. But no one's going to we ain't going to take, why would we do that? First of all, the PR of that would be horrible. And second of all, we'll just pick them up off the street. Easy money. Too easy. But do they do it? I'm curious. It has to be talked about. Another headline here on Action News. Who gets called for that new crease violation? I'm very curious. I don't think we saw it in week 1. We could have seen it with the DeHoga goal where he does the clapping thing, but the goal happened. So who is the first culprit of that? There's only 2 games this weekend, but the Bandits rule, when will it get enforced? And also, how often this year does that get enforced? I'm curious. And finally, I have to take shots at merchandise. I mean, no unboxed merchandise, no NLL merchandise. I was reading a comment thread, I think yesterday afternoon, where these Bandits fans were like, I don't even know where to get jerseys from. It's pretty bad when your biggest fan base doesn't know the only place to get jerseys is actually in arena. That's not good. It's not good. So again, I asked you a little step up. Nothing big. Just thought I had to talk about that. Again, MJG says would depend highly on his ability to play in both countries. But again, I raise you Dr. Mitch DeSnew, because we're like, he only wants to play around his certain area. And I know Mitch DeSnew obviously has no baggage besides his work. So, I mean, Bandits ate that up quickly. I don't know. It's an interesting thing for Austin's thoughts. But yeah, there is your week 2 headlines presented by nobody. But if you would like to email the show for business inquiries, daily.lax@gmail.com or any questions or concerns, but who cares about all those, right? All right, folks, when we come back to this awesome show, I'm doing power rankings. Hey, pal, shame on you, Pat. To be fair, Pat has Daily Dive merchandise, but, sorry for another day. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Oh my goodness, this has been a nice, fun show today. We're not done, though, because I just want to reemphasize how the intro of this show goes, okay? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to just the Lacrosse Talk Show. No, is that how the intro goes? No, it's not. Welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet's mic drop or headset throw. Not going to do that, but you get it. So why do I say that? I say that to say this. My power rankings have to matter. They have to. Like, I'm the only one who does it, so let's do it. Bam! Now, if you're wondering, like, how are teams already dropping? Well, that's easy. That's because I based this on my preseason predictions, and so we have to adjust accordingly. Calgary, Philadelphia, shout out. Sorry, not yet. Ottawa's already dropping 2 spots. I think their loss was brutal. You got spotted 5 goals early, and your coach already called out your effort. It's a problem. It's a problem. He says you weren't, maybe not effort. He said you weren't locked in, focused, whatever it was. You weren't ready, Jeff Teat and company. So Ottawa's number 12. They're the worst team of the teams that actually matter in the NLL. I'm not saying Philadelphia and Calgary don't matter. I'm saying this year, no one expects them to be good. So the top 12 is really like, if you're in 12th place, like, you're pretty, that's rough. That's not a good flex. Number 11, they didn't play. They're playing this weekend, but Halifax, because the fact San Diego was so good against Oshawa, I don't know how long Trey LeClaire keeps up a handful of puppies. We'll have to see. But, I think going on the road is a big deal. I think going on the road week 1 and you punk those guys early, I think that matters. Number 9, without playing a game and falling out of my proverbial playoffs, the Desert Dogs. Not down there yet, but those Las Vegas and Halifax control their own destiny in my power rankings. So just focus on San Diego and Ottawa. All right. Now, North America, let's see here. NA Talk Radio says Saskatchewan Rush tickets are $27. My goodness. Click the event tickets tab. Hey, man, they're doing the Lord's work over there at NATalkRadio.com. That's just impressive stuff. You can go there now if you want. It's fine. Or you can just wait till the show ends. That's awesome, too. All right. Let's do this now. My top 8. There it is. Oh, yeah. Guys, it had to happen. Colorado is up to number 8. Beating my number 1 team is a big deal. Even though I predicted Vancouver to start a little bit slow, I'm not sure how much that game meant. That's why Colorado moves up 1. Toronto played well enough to stay put at 7. Georgia was locked in. Guys, the story on Georgia was no one had any clue. I put them number 6, finishing 9-9. I feel pretty good about that. Like, you're lockstep with Buffalo on banner night when your roster should not, on paper, should not be as good. It has to matter. Is it a quality loss? I know. Number 5, Rochester. They did stay put. They didn't play a game. We're fine, though. Number 4, Oshawa. If it wasn't for Saskatchewan being so respectful last year, you might have moved up 1. But I'm not sure if Toronto is as good as people think. Even though I think they could make the finals, they also could be a first-round exit. Like, there's 2 different scenarios there that are also, like, I think are very possible. But Oshawa, great showing. But let's beat Halifax. You're an underdog there. Just saying. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, though. Saskatchewan stays put at 3 as they watch to Vancouver. Like, haha, LOL, Vancouver. Now, I couldn't just let week 1 slide with Vancouver. I do believe they're going to be there in the end, but I could not let them just get smoked. I mean, they got smoked. Colorado went up there, pulled their pants. Pulled their pants down and embarrassed them. Hey, look at this, guys. Like, look at them. Like, that was 10-7. Your offense. Let's look at the names again. Curtis Dixon, Jesse King, Keegan Ball, Marcus Claridge, Peyton Cormier, Adam Charlin Beatties. Guys, 7 goals? Really? 7? You cannot let that slide. I don't care how far away you are right now. That is, you can't just lose. If you lost like 12-11, good. 7? Come on. And like I said, Buffalo did what Buffalo does. Now the glass half empty to Buffalo is, well, this young scrum Georgia team, like, what, really? You were in a dogfight? Well, like I said, Buffalo flexed their muscles. You add the fact that Mitch DeSnew and Ryan Benesh both scored a goal in their game back. Oh, my goodness. Dane Smith was electric, scoring 4 goals, meaning he might actually hit the over goals this year. Come on. So it is what it is. I'm excited for these. I also want to get to something that Anything Lax said. He was saying, how does Colorado, he was talking about like the NLL's power rankings. I think that's what he was referring to. It's from week 17, or his episode 17 show. Jake McDonald basically was saying, how does Colorado beat one of your top 3 teams and barely move up? Again, it's just week 1, but I do think there's value in what Colorado did. And Vancouver scoring 7. Sorry, Pat Coyle, I don't think your defense is that good. Like, they scoring 10, scoring 7 is crazy. It's not acceptable, and they have to fall. I love Utica Yeti, who has actually never commented live. Buffalo wins championships 1, 2, 3. We want 4. Utica Yeti must be from Buffalo. There you go. See? I'll read the comments. Thanks so much for watching today's show, everybody. Tomorrow is our week 2 NLL preview. I believe we have 3 guests on tomorrow. I think Pat Gregoire is on. We also have an announcement with Pat Gregoire welcome back. Well, hey, Kai. Oh, yeah. Ed Cuomo, coach of the year, made the playoffs. I think Pat's on tomorrow. I'm pretty sure Gamble Guy is, and I'm pretty sure Captain is as well, to restart his ladder. But yeah. Alrighty, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been Daily Dive. You guys stay safe, and we're almost back again. Thanks, everybody. Bye.